see the supplies we need. We need of course our tumbling tile blocks. We need a string of light battery operated, some paint at your choice, some wood glue, and of course your glue gun. I don't have them standing here, but we need later on our glue gun, some scissors, some brushes, some a little tool for cutting some wire. And these are a little bit of the main pieces we need for this DIY. What we're going to make a cake stand, and on that cake stand we are going to make a hoop, and which we are going to decorate for the fall season, but you will see it in a moment. So the first step, what we're going to do is going to make our stand, and I said a kind of a cake stand, and of course it is a kind of a cake stand riser, just how you call it. We are going to take our 5 blocks. So very easy, and we're going to glue the sides. This is 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4, because number 5 will be the closure up. I have to do it this way and squeeze it and press it together like this and make a straight line. And this is already 1. We go for 4 blocks and we do the same. We do some glue on 1, on a number 2, and a number 3, and they will be number 4 will be again the closure up, and this is 4 blocks, and we're going to go now for 3. So we go for a 1, number 2, and of course number 3 is our closure up again, and this is already the first piece of our cake stand or riser. I'm going to go wipe away a little bit of the glue, because or else we are going to come under the glue on our mat. So what we're going to do again, we're going to again take 5 blocks, because we need a top and we need a bottom, and this is 1, 2, 3, and number 4. And we're going to squeeze also this 5 together in a nice straight line again. And we go over again for 4 blocks. And if we have finished this one, then we're going to let it dry for I think a couple of minutes, and then we're going to stack them up. And this is number 4. And squeeze it and press it together. And now the last, for the bottom and the top, it will be 3, and again, and number 2, and this will already the glue is falling down on me, and this is number 3. Oh, you see this block is not totally straight, he is already coming out, and this is number 3. We're going to let this dry for a couple of minutes. So we get our 2 of 5. We're going to lay this way. We are going to get this one, and of course we have to make sure that it is a straight line. We are going to do some glue on this, and we're going to place it in the middle of the one of the 5, and just try to get it as even as you can. And we're going to do here the same again, some glue in around, and we're going to lay it again in the middle of this one of 5, and try to match out a little bit where you want. Maybe you can also lay them together and then see which way you have to go, and now they are really on the same part. And you see already, if you press it down, some blocks are coming loose because they are not totally straight, they are a little bit this way, and even with that we have to work with it, because it is always a waste of your money to throw those blocks away. I'm going to go for the 3, and we're going to lay this also in the middle, and we go for this one the same, and again lay it on top, and we're going to place it next to each other and try to get it as even as we can, and this way. And now we're going to press it down, and we're going to let this dry in also for ½ hour. What we're going to do, we are going to get blocks of 2, so we go make 4 blocks of 2, and this is 1, and this And now we only need the closure up blocks. And this is 1. This is a number 2. And number 4. And number 5 of this one. And now we have 4 blocks of 4. And just squeeze and press them together. And this way. And squeeze it. And squeeze it again. And let this dry in for a couple of minutes. Now our 4 pieces of 2 are almost dried in. Of course they still can fall apart, so be careful. I'm just going to do a little line over here and I'm going to make a nice square. I'm going to place this one over here. I'm going to do some glue on this one on the side. And even be careful because you don't want that everything is falling apart. And we're going to go, because this one is longer and this one is shorter, I have to do one on the top and I have to do one on the front. But a lot of you are here already for a long time, so they already know how I make my squares. So, and a little on this side to close this one up. And we're going to place it in over here and then squeeze it. And make a nice straight square. I have to work a little bit with it, so this one has to come out and this one has to go in for a little bit. And now I'm going to let this dry in for a moment. And then we can place it in between. So the parts are dried in. What I'm going to do, I'm doing some glue on the underside of our square and a little bit on the middle of the opening, because then the less glue is coming out. So I'm just over here, just this way, and I'm going to place it in the middle and try to get it on each side the same. And this way. I'm going to look for if I have it correctly in the middle. Now I'm going to squeeze it, press it down. And of course I'm going to do on top of here and also in the more in the middle than on the ending. And this way. I'm going to let this dry and then I'm going to turn it over, of course, to keep it in place, and then in the meantime just pull it over and make sure that you have it in the line you want to have it, because you can still adjust it as long as it is not dried on. And this is already our stand. I placed my stand aside and now we can work on our hoop for on top of it. What we're going to do, I'm going to get 4 blocks like this, and I'm going to do on the half of the block this way just a little line on the side. And I'm going to do this with the second one and with the third one. Very easy. And this way, and I'm going to place them up. I'm going to place this one up and I'm going to do this one halfway. And this way I have to squeeze it a little and this. Now I'm going to get number 3, place it up and place him halfway. And again, squeeze it. And I'm going to make sure that I have it in the right spot, and I'm going to get block number 4, which will be for now the closure up. And I'm going to lightly squeeze it, place them. The important thing is that you do them halfway as much as you can. And now we're going to let this dry in. So now we're going to make again another one of 4. Again, we could do some glue on the side very lightly. Of course, like this, and like over here on the side, and the last one. And we're going to again place them straight up, and I'm doing it this way for you so you can easily see how it is done. I'm going to place this one halfway, and I'm going to do this one as the closure up again, and we're going to squeeze them and press it down. And like I said, the important thing is that you have them as much as you can halfway. I'm going to let this dry in also the rest of the two, because we need 6 of them and I'm going to do them a little bit faster. And if there is some glue coming out, just take your light small pencil like this and just make it a little bit wet with your old towel and just go around the sides and very easy wipe away the glue you don't need, which is too much, and very lightly, and then let it dry again. So you see, I have my 6 pieces of my, it looks a little bit like a stair. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get 3 of them and I'm going to glue them also again halfway. So I'm going to do on this one some glue over here, and I'm going to do on this one some glue on the side over here, and I'm going to do it, place this one halfway and place it together, and I'm going to place this one also halfway and squeeze them together. And now I'm going to let them dry. I'm going to do for this one the same. So again, I'm going to do here some glue, and I'm do on this one some glue, and of course I do a little bit more because it has to be very steady. I'm going to place this one halfway and I'm going to place this one halfway, and again let this dry in for a couple of, I think half an hour. And you see this part and this part is drying. We are going to need, of course, another part. So we're going to do some glue again on this side, and try not to do too much glue, but sometimes it's a little bit hard to measure out because it runs faster than sometimes I want. And then this one, and again we're going to do it halfway again, and this one also, and then we're going to make it also for the other side 6 pieces of 4, the same like I did here again. So now I'm going to go also for this part. I'm going to do some glue on the side, and we are going to make 3 pieces together of 4, the same like we did with the other one. And again, place it over here, and we're going to go for this one, and also on the side. It's really a task that you need to take your time for it, because or else everything will fall apart, and that's not what you want. So we're going to do again on this side also some glue, and we're going to do this side over here, just do on the, and now we're going to place this one together, and we're going to place this one in front, and also let this dry in again the same like we did with this one. Our 4 pieces are almost dried, not totally, so I'm still going to do it a little bit carefully. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place 2 of them this way. So this will be one, and this will be, it maybe it's a possibility if you have them different on your table, maybe you have to turn them. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get 1 block, and I'm going to do some glue on this side and on the other side. So on this side and on this side, and I'm going to place it in between, and I'm going to work my way. This is also a little kind of a task, you have to take your time for it. And again, this is 1. Now I'm going to do some glue on this side. Of course, yeah, I have to look right on the total of the whole block. You can do some glue you place it down. You can do this one, do some glue on the whole block, like this, place it down, and you get one last block, and you do on each side again some glue, and you place it over here. And now we're going to carefully work our way inside. So this will be on top of each other, this one will be on top of each other, and of course this one has to come in the middle. So we have to close it up this way, and we have to close up this way. So, and then we hope everything is fitting together nicely, at least we hope so. And then we're going to let this dry in for at least, I think maybe it's better if you leave it overnight. So, and then we go further with the top and of course our stand glued together, and we're going to decorate it. So our hula hoop on the top, a hula hoop round, at least how you call it, at least the top is finished, but he is big. He is really big. So if you look at the stand, I think my stand is much too little for the top he will have. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wide it out, and I'm going to get 6 blocks like this together. So I will make 2 rows of 6 and 2 rows of 7. This is 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and a number 5. And number 6 will be again the closure up. I'm going to make a straight line again, squeeze them together like this. And this is already 1. We're going to go again for a 1 of 6. And this will be 1, and number 2, number 3, and number 4, and a number 5. And again, we already have 2 of the top and the bottom. This is 1. And now we go for block number 7. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, repeat the same. It is so easy. We just give the stand a little bit more body, like at least that's what we call it over here. It looks a little bit bigger because it was a little bit too small. But if you like it this small, it's also fine too, but it's not the look I'm going for. So I'm going to try to fill it up a little bit more. This is number 7, and squeeze it and press it down. And now we're going to, again, I have to make a nice straight line or else it doesn't look right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, and again, this will be the last. This is 1, and number 2, number 3, and a number 4, 5, and 6. And that will be all. And again, we roll them together again. And make a straight line again, and we squeeze it and press them together. And I think then we get a more unique stand. And he is now a little bit too small. At least here in the Netherlands we call it also small. That means he is not fitting totally with the top of your frame. And we're going to let this dry in. So now we're going to place this one over here. We're going to do some glue on the back side, and you see already on one of this one is a mark, but it doesn't matter because it will be on the inside. You won't see it. So I'm going to get this one carefully and just place it on top of here and lay it in the middle. So we have on both sides the same, and we're going to squeeze it, press it down. Now we go this one, we're going to turn it over, and we're going to make sure that this is a straight line because it doesn't fit totally right. So it doesn't matter if things are coming down because you still are going to glue it, and you can still adjust it. So it doesn't matter. We're just going to place this on here, and again try to get it as even as you can, like this, and we're going to squeeze it down, and we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. We did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to do some glue on the top of the stand over here, and I'm going to do a little bit more in the middle because we don't want to fall it off later. And I'm going to place it on here, and we're going to squeeze and press a little bit down. And also again, let this dry in for a couple of minutes. Again, I gave it a couple of minutes. I'm going to do some glue over here, and of course in the middle, a little bit more. What I'm going to do, because it's not totally dry yet, so again, be careful. You don't want to mess it up. I'm going to place it down. I'm going to place this one, and I'm going to place this one on top of here. So now can both sides dry while they are laying down like this. And now you have to still have to wait a couple of hours and maybe overnight. So both of my pieces are almost dried in, but not overnight, because I was thinking I did let it dry for a couple of hours. But I was thinking, if I want to decorate it, of course, it needs to be dry. So I think I'm going to do some glue on the underside, and I'm going to glue this on top of each other. But I'm debating if I do it this way, flat on the table, or maybe if I can do it this way. So I have to look which one is the straight one. Maybe a little, it's turning, and it's always very vulnerable. So be careful. I have to look for, I think I'm going for this way. I'm going to do it standing up, and I'm going to do, I think this, and I'm going to do some glue on the under 3 pieces. Of course, I have 2 over here, 2 over here, and the 3 in the middle, and I'm going to do some glue on the 3 in the middle. And this way, just go over it. And do enough wood glue on it, because you don't want to let your top is falling off. So I'm going to place it on here and this way. And of course, still be careful, because this top is also not totally dried in yet. And I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure until everything is falling on top of each other. What I'm going to do, you see here already, I have 2 blocks. I'm going to place this one a little carefully aside. I'm going to do these 2 blocks for the top, because I want to pull it a little bit higher. Because when I would do it over again, I would make the hoop a little bit smaller. Now I did 6 on each side. I did 6 pieces of 4. So I'm going to go for the next one. I would do, I think, 5, maybe 4. So, but you can change it up, because you didn't do it yet. So you can change it up to lower numbers. So I have here the 2 together, and I'm going to glue this on the top of my frame. And I'm going to have one piece like this. This is also a wooden, they are used for looking like little people inside of a display. So I'm going to use it always as my tops. So I'm going to do again some wood glue under it, and I think you probably also have this kind of pieces at your home. And I'm going to place it in the middle, and I'm going to squeeze it, press it down, and I'm going to look for if I have it in the middle like this. And now I'm going to let this dry a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to place it on top, and I'm going to glue also this on top. But you see, the next step will be, we're going to paint this frame. And here you see how he is 1 day later. Of course, it's a couple of seconds for you. And I'm going to paint it, like I said, in the sand color. But choose any color you like. I'm just giving it a coat, and I don't do it too thick, because I don't like it if it's totally thin. I like that the wood is still coming through a little bit. So I'm going to go, and I'm doing the whole piece in the same color. But you can choose, if you want to have the top maybe another color, then you have to, before you glue it, paint it or do a marker over it and do it in another color. But I like everything in the same color. So I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to paint this. You see already I placed you a little bit down, because he is painted right now, and we're going to decorate the inside. The first thing what I'm going to start with, of course, is my lights. And I have this one on the back side against a wall. So I don't mind if you don't, the back side is not foreseeing, because I have on a wall. But if you want to see both the sides, then you have to decorate it that you can see it on this side and you see it on the other side. But for me, that's not the issue. So I'm going to do some sticky gum on the back side of my battery operated light. And I'm going to place it, of course, over here and like this. And I'm going to turn it over this way, and I'm going to stick it inside in this between, so you can really, it's just fitting inside. That's the greatest thing, and I hope that he will stay in place. He will stay in place, but you never know. So we will see how this will turn out. And else you also can do a little bit of glue from your glue gum. I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go around, and I'm going to go my lights in between. And of course it's wired lights, and it's always a little bit of a task to get them really nicely around your piece. So I'm going to take my time for it, and I won't bore you with that. So in a moment you see when the wires are, the lighted wires are around my rounding, and you see the lights are around it. And I have some decorations on my table, some Christmas trees, some butter brush Christmas tree like this one. And of course I have some greenery picks, and the same like this one. And I have my little reindeer. This one, he will be in there also. And I have some red berries and some ribbon. I don't know what I will use, but of course this is just an inspiration. You don't have to do the way I do it. Of course, I'm going to glue right now a couple of my branches like this. I showed you a little bit closer this way, and you see they have not a stamp anymore, just the 3-piece over here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue it with my glue gun. I'm going to make a little bed in here to give a little bit of steadiness to my trees. And of course we try to make a little bit kind of a forest, but I don't know if this will look alright. And like I said, always go ahead, change it up any way you like. I'm going to place the reindeer over here, and I'm going to get my loose pieces, of course, over here. And again, I'm going to work them and give them a nice shape, because sometimes they are in the shop, they are really squeezed. So I'm going to try to this way, and I'm going to do some glue on the back side, very easy. Over here, I'm going to show it to you. At least I hope. I think you are a little bit too high for me. I think this way, maybe you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to do some glue on the back side of the branch, and I'm going to again lay it in between, keep it in place for a little moment. Make sure that you don't burn yourself. And you see this is already one, and I'm going to do one on the back side, and this way. And I'm going to place it and squeeze it in and place it on top of each other to get a nice bedding already. And this way I'm going to get another one, and I just play with it. I have really no idea where I want to have it. I'm just going to fill it up the way I think I like it, but of course you don't have to do that. You can do any way you like. I'm going to do one on this way. I'm going to squeeze it and press it down that everything glues together. And now I'm going to cut off a little piece of this one, because we need it a little bit shorter. And maybe I think I'm going now, maybe I also can leave it on, and I'm going to squeeze it inside like this. I do some glue on here, and I'm going to try, and then it can be hanging, coming out, and I'm going to squeeze it inside this way, and I'm going to bend it down like this. So you see he is hanging down this side. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to make also on the other side, because I even can make this battery operated. You see already, if I come to it, he go on and on. It's a disco light. I still have another one with a little kind of stamp still around it. So I'm going to do also this one. So I can even change it up and leave the battery off, and then I can also use it on this side. So I'm going to do some glue also on this one. So if you have one where you can leave the branches still on, do it, because then you can squeeze it inside and make a nice long ending, and press this one down because everything is wired. And I'm going to squeeze it down like this, and I'm going to do, because this one is now standing up more, I'm going to bend it over, do some glue on the back side of the branches like this, and I'm going to place it and squeeze it and bend it down in this way so it stays better in place. Of course, this way. And for everyone who doesn't want to see how I make my little displays, of course you are free to skip forward. But of course, I hope you like what you see and you still think, well, maybe something I can learn something from it. So you see, this is already one. And now I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to go for, again, in the middle, a little piece. I have to cut it off over here, and I'm going to give it, because I think the layer needs a little bit higher. So I'm going to go for one this side, and again I'm going to go for place this one over here and a little bit sideways in the rounding, so you mean it goes a little bit up. I hope I show it to you on camera like this. And I'm going to take another one. And this way you see again a 3-piece. I'm still working with the 3 pieces. And I'm going to go turn it over a little bit. And I'm going to squeeze it and squeeze this one also a little bit inside. And lay it in the side of your rounding. And again, squeeze it until it is dried up. But make sure that your lightning is a little bit better than mine, because I think mine is almost finished because he's ticking around. So take some new battery operated lights. So again, I have to undo myself from the glue. I think I have for the base enough. What I'm going to do, I am taking one bottle brush tree like this, and you see already I ripped off the standing where he was standing on, and I'm going to cut off exactly on the ending. So I hope this will work this way. You see already now I have it I have it off my tree, and now I have a flat surface so I can easily place my tree inside here. So I'm going to do again some glue on the top. Very easy, just do some glue over here, and I'm going to place it over here in the middle, and I'm going to squeeze it and press it down and hold it in place for a couple of seconds until it is dried up. And I use for this one a bigger tree, and later we can decorate it again and fill it up with the smaller ones. Most of the time you have a package with 11 bottle brush trees, and especially at least we have them over here. And you call it a Christmas tree and we call it a kerstboom. So it's a lot different than you use Christmas tree and we call it kerstboom. So it's much different. I'm going to do it this way, and now I'm going to look for where I can have my reindeer, and of course it's a little bit squeezing in, and maybe I'm going to cut off a little piece of his feet. I know it's not very nice to do, but but I think I'm going to do it because you don't see it anymore. So you see they are very easy to cut off. Now I have already his feet off, and again for this one. And I'm going to do for this one the same. And now he's a little bit shorter, and I can get him more easily inside of my round. Of course, I'm going to struggle a little bit with it, and then I show you how I got him in. And you see, I always am honest on my DIYs, and I always show you what is going on. And you see already now I was struggling so much, but his feet are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. of our reindeer, like we call it, a reindeer. So of course he is getting shorter and shorter to get fitting inside of here. So don't worry if you're also struggling with your reindeer. It doesn't matter. I am struggling also, and I love to show it to you this way also. Nothing is going as smooth as a lot of people think. So I'm going to give some glue over here, and now I'm going to try to squeeze it in and place it a little bit sideways on top of here like this. So I'm going to do some glue, and of course already my glue gun is already gone out. So I'm going to do some glue on the underside of my reindeer feet, and on this one, and on this feet, and on this feet, even when they are already did come out. You see, I'm just going to place it on top, and I'm going to squeeze it and press it down and keep it in place, and then I hope he will stay in place. Of course, I remove the glue, I don't need. I show it to you in a moment, but I also love to show you things what goes wrong, because you're not the only one who is struggling. Everyone is struggling. Even when most of the DIYs, when you look at them and they go so nicely and everything works and everything does it, most of the time you don't see the back, how you call that? Backside, not the backside, but you don't see the things after the, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean. But I always love to show you everything. So again, I work my way. And now my reindeer is inside. So it did cost me almost his whole feet. You see already, I have a lot of pieces of the feet over here. So now I'm going to work with it, little Christmas trees and some greenery to fill this up. And yes, you see he is inside of our frame, and I'm going to get now the 3-piece, like you saw me cutting them in 3. I'm going to do again some glue on the back side, and I'm going to, I just fit it in wherever you think it's necessary. Just squeeze it inside and make sure that it stays in place. And of course I remove the glue we don't need, and this way, this is already one. And I'm going to look for on the back side, because on the back side our tree is over here, and I think I'm going to give it some filling under it. So I try to bend my greenery, but no, most of the time the greenery things I'm not going to bend it. So I think I'm going to, for this one, this is a little bit softer and I can squeeze it a little bit better. I'm doing some glue over here. And then I'm going to squeeze it just under the tree, and this way, so to fill it up, and a little bit sideways. And I'm going to squeeze it in and let it dry in this way. And I'm going to turn it over again. And I'm going to go now for some little Christmas trees like this. This is one of the lighter ones, so I'm going to look for a little bit of the darker green ones, and you can still place another big one inside. I'm going to look for the smaller one, and then we go further. So you see I found some little Christmas trees, and here you see still the feet is on top of here, and they are very easily removed. You just can pull them out and just bend them, and I'm going to cut off the underside because we want to make sure that he stays in place where we're going to place it. And if you have a wire piece, not everything will stick right through it. So I'm going to go some glue over here on the underside. And again, I'm going to look for where I want to have my little tree. Of course, I'm going to do one on the back side over here and place it and squeeze it. I showed you in a moment. And I have, of course, my glue wires which have to go away, because I don't like, you see already, this is already one, and I have my glue wires of it. And I'm going to have here another one, a little bit of the darker piece, and again I'm going to cut it off, and I'm doing some glue again on the back side like this. And I'm going to look for again where I want to have it. I think I'm going to place it on the back side over here and squeeze it and press it down over here this way. Of course, I have to move away with the glue already. I already glued the back side. So I'm going to remove it. So I turn it over, and of course also on the back side I'm going to do a little bit of the trees like this, and I'm going to do some glue again on the back side over here, and I'm going to place one on the side over here just in between, and of course again in the moment I will show it to you. You see, he is over here this way. I showed you maybe a little bit closer. He is over here, and now I'm going to turn it over, and I have to look for if I think everything is in place, and I think I have enough Christmas trees inside. So now we're going to do some red berries. So for me he's almost finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece of a loose piece of my greenery. I'm going to cut it very short like this, and I'm going to place it because I want to finish off the underground over here, because I see a little bit of glue and a little bit of the stems, and I don't like it. So I always finish things off with a little bit of my greenery, so you get a nice finishing touch before we place the berries. And I squeeze it in, and this way. And of course you have to look for later with the wires of your glue. So now I'm going to get my berries, and I use the very simple berries. This was just big branch, and I'm going to do a couple of pieces like this. This is very easy, a little bit of the darker red and the lighter red, so very simple. And I'm going to do some glue in it, and I'm just going to stick it in. I think I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. He's a little bit long like this. So I'm going to do some glue, of course, on the ending, so I'm sure that he will stay in place. And I'm going to lift it up and then squeeze it in, so you have a nice finishing touch inside. This is one, and I have another one the same like this one. If I am correctly, I don't see this one. I had another one, so I have to look for where the other one is, because I have always two of the same. So I found again a couple of the smaller ones, and I'm going to do some glue also on this side. And I'm going to glue this one on this side inside. Of course, I'm going to try to squeeze it in over here, and make sure that you fill it in, and do it sideways like this, so you can hang it a little bit down. Of course, we're going to do the back side, and we're going to get some berries also over here. I don't do too much because I don't like it if it is too much, but go ahead if you like more. It is also fine, and you can place it in anywhere you like. I'm going to place it over here, and I'm going to get another one, and I'm going to cut it off, do some glue, and I'm going to place this one on the other side and also squeeze it in over here, so you are sure that everything is nicely decorated the way you want it to have. So I am really happy with this result, and of course in a moment you see a quick impression how it totally turned out.